Hello. హలో తను మళ్ళీ మీట్లోకి వెళ్ళిపోయింది. లేదు అసలు రెస్పాండ్ అవ్వట్లేదు కదా కనీసం. హలో.
Hello.
కెన్ స్టార్ట్ ద క్లాస్?
Yeah, I'm ready. Chandra told there was another person who is yet to join. I'm not sure whether he has joined.
Yeah, he will not join, ma'am. He need to. It will take another 1 hour to go to home. He will join from tomorrow. We'll continue for you today. We'll send the record.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
From you, right? May know, like, you know anything about cloud computing or Salesforce or multi-tenant architecture or MVC, any of these concepts?
I'm basically an ETL developer. I'm using Informatica Cloud to move data to Salesforce. So I've been working with Salesforce for 6-7 months. So I do know the basics of Salesforce, but I'm really interested to know more about the in-depth knowledge, and I would like to get some more in-depth knowledge in Salesforce. So that is my background.
Yeah. Today I'll just give you a brief introduction about what is cloud computing and what is SaaS, and what is Salesforce and what is the architecture used in the Salesforce and what are the different kinds of products used in the Salesforce. Okay.
Okay. And your voice is very low. Would you be able to increase the volume? Or?
Yeah, I'll do it. Are you able to hear properly now?
Yeah, but still it's okay, but it's still low.
I think this is the highest volume.
Okay.
Yeah. Just to start, like, today I'll discuss about the topics like what is cloud computing and what is the Salesforce, how it is differences between the Salesforce and other platforms, and what are the kinds of applications we can build on the Salesforce, and what is the MVC architecture in the Salesforce, and what are the kinds of the Salesforce products and what editions in Salesforce it will support, and how to practice the Salesforce in the offline sessions and all these things. I'll just tell you.
Okay.
Yeah, first of all, like cloud computing. Cloud computing is like everyone thinks that we can do everything on a cloud basis. It is a similar as things like whatever the delivery of the computing resources, like whatever the application you are developing or whatever the things you are going to develop, you develop in the cloud and you self-deploy those things in the cloud, and the usage will be also in the cloud. So everything is in pay-per-usage basis. Like whatever the resources you need, you will use those resources and you will pay for those resources. And the main advantages for this one is like you can elastic resources. Like when you want to increase the more resources, you can scale up easily. And if you don't want to continue with the other resources, you can scale down easily. So the main advantage is one of the advantages like scale up and down quickly and easily to meet our demands. And second advantage is like a metered service. Metered service is nothing but so you pay only for what you use. For example, in the Salesforce CRM, if you want for for this year, if you want an user licenses of 200 user licenses with the charter licenses, you just pay for the 200 licenses, and the charter licenses you can get as a free. And if you don't want the other licenses, just deactivate those licenses, and it will be useful to another one. And that is the main advantage of the cloud computing. The next one is like there are three kinds of cloud computing in the market. Like we can say one is in software as a service, one is in platform as a service, one is in infrastructure as a service. Salesforce provides two things. One is a platform as a service, second one is a SaaS, software as a service. Like this means software as a service, like it is providing a platform which is with the post-outcome, with the pre-installed applications and the pre-installed apps. We can say those business apps we can use, and if you want to do any of the any of the other features need to be implemented in this one, we can go ahead and we can implement in the post.com platform. And on top of it, if you want to consume any of the applications built by the Salesforce, we can consume those applications like sales application and service application. And the mainly here the benefits of the SaaS is like software as a service. Here you can sign up and rapidly start using and building the business apps. Like if I provide an URL for you, you just log in with your credentials, and you can start building your whatever the object or schema, your workflow rule or validation rules, everything you can build an instance on it. And whatever the apps or the data, everything is accessible by any of the computers. Like it can be supported in iPad, it can be supported in the mobile applications, it can be supported in the desktop or applications, everywhere it can be. But whatever we need to take care of is just with a minor configurations we need to take care of, whether it is working in mobile or whether it is working in website. Only those things we need to take care. And whenever you are doing, whenever you have done something and suddenly your computer crashes or something was done, here there is no problem, because everything, whatever you are connected to an URL to the servers via internet only. So everything, the storage will be in the cloud, and there are several security measures taken by the Salesforce itself for protecting the data. And that is about SaaS. And SaaS is like a platform as a service. Like a platform as a service, like here the post.com is a platform which if you want to develop any other applications other than the Salesforce what has given, you can go for the post.com platform, and you can create your own custom objects and you can customize your application according to your needs. That is the main advantage in the SaaS. And coming to the Salesforce, Salesforce is like your customer success platform, which is designed to sell, service, market, and analyze and connect with your customers. For example, it is purely a CRM application, like customer relationship management application, which is useful for selling purpose, service purpose, marketing purpose, and whenever you want to collaborate with your customers, there are different kinds of collaborations are there. Like chatter is one of the collaboration, communities is one of the collaboration. So you can connect with your partner customers also using the Salesforce. Mainly the Salesforce is delivered by using the SaaS and the PaaS model. And can I share my screen to show you something like?
Yeah, I'm able to see your screen.
Okay. If you see this one Salesforce view, and what is the Salesforce like? If you see, it is a trusted multi-tenant cloud. It is a main feature which the partners or the customers should believe in the Salesforce, and they have to opt for the licenses. and it is in multi-tenant cloud. Multi-tenant architecture in the sense so many number of users working on the same platform for the same thing, and on keeping on mind with the government limits. Okay, and these are the main features we have to consider in the multi-tenant. And what is the advantage of this one? Fast app development and the customization we provide on the cloud itself. For example, when you compare with the public cloud and the private cloud, public clouds are like what are the resources you need to develop or what are the schema you need to develop. For example, a custom object, a workflow rule, an email template, a communication template. Everything we can build on top of on the public cloud on the user access basis, like in the, whether he's a system administrator or any other profile, we can customize our own things. Whereas compared to the private cloud, there are so many restrictions, like what are the fields you have to deploy or what are the things you need to deploy. You just contact to the support center, and and they will deploy from our end. And we are not having any permissions on the private clouds. And if you see this one, what I said is the data and objects, which is nothing but a schema platform, which is nothing but design of the schema. And the mobile UI, if you want to deploy your applications to the mobile interfaces, we can deploy into this one. And the collaborations using by the communities and the collaborations using by the data facilities. Analytics is nothing but the reports and the dashboards. And these are the metrics which are useful to the high level business for seeing how the system is performing and the workflows and how the business process is going to be managed. We can define on the workflows. And the identity is nothing but how the ways to connect to the Salesforce and what are the restrictions. And as I said, it is a cloud-based platform, and based upon URL, you can connect from anywhere. So if you want to restrict someone with some ranges, from IP ranges or login time hours, you can you can have the settings and identity. And it is a flexible, scalable, and a metadata platform. And what can we build on the top of the CRM is the sales applications, service applications, marketing applications, communication analytics, and the lightning apps.
Okay.
And if you see this, how the Salesforce differs from the other legacy systems, like other legacy systems, if you are having an idea and if you build up the idea and it goes to the live, it takes 6 to 12 months. I think it's an approximate calculation for buying and set up hardware, install the complete software, define user access, set up reporting and analytics. Because here, if you go for a third-party tool, you want to buy another tool which integrates with this for the data to be integrated for the report and analysis purposes, and build and the test security, make it mobile and social, and build application, and finally application will be coming out after all these processes. But in the Salesforce platform, if you're having an idea, we just Salesforce is giving the force.com as on top of it, with having the so many applications, sales and service applications, like build app with the modern framework, and you can deploy easily to the customers connected desktop and mobile applications. And these are all the things we can avoid, because buying and set up hardware, we don't care about the buying and set up the hardware. Just we need an user access, and based upon our edition, Salesforce will provide the features, what are the features depending upon the edition, so that we can consume those features and we can develop our applications. And in installation of any complex software, no, it's not needed. If you want to install any other applications which are supported to Salesforce, we just go to App Exchange product, give a login credentials there, and install those applications in the Salesforce. And the report and analytics, Salesforce itself has having a feature of creating the reports and dashboards with different kinds of dashboard components we are having, and different types of reports we can build on the Salesforce itself. And while make it mobile and social, Salesforce itself having mobile settings which is defined for the user access. Like Salesforce one is a mobile application which is used for this connectivity on the mobile. So everything we can build on the top in the Salesforce. It's built and with a modern framework. That's why I mentioned the word like modern framework. So and we can deploy the application for so users can use it. And these are the sample kind of applications regarding to different verticals like HR and the operations, finance, IT, supply management, and the product management. And these are the sample kind of applications we can build like supply chain in the IT. If we go for enterprise knowledge, identity management. If we go for the product early warning management, product ideas innovation, like if you want to build an customer support for a product, it is easily in the Salesforce we can build using the service cloud, and the case management system is there. Whatever the features you want, you can build on top of it, and you can give it to the customers. And when you are thinking, when you are thinking for a new business and you are confusing on what to take and why to take to the Salesforce, right? And when you want to sell to prospects and the customers, like you want to sell some kind of product to other people, like into the market, there is the standard sales application which provides leads and opportunities to manage the sales process. And these are the basic two objects which I mentioned. And we can have there are so many objects like in the sales applications which is having campaign management is there. One is the best feature which we can track the campaigns and the revenue generated from the campaigns, and what are the leads coming from the campaigns, and the accounts and the contacts and the opportunities we can maintain, and we can generate our potential through the opportunities. So what are the revenues getting generated, we can calculate those opportunities, and we can define our forecast category also in the sales process. And after selling the customers, if you want to serve the customers, which is nothing but helping your customers after the sale, and how you can sell your you can support your customers. It is nothing but the cases and the communities which are engaged with the customers. Like it is a purely service cloud feature. Service cloud is having a case management system as well as solution management system. Both are there. Whenever you want to send in, you can define a predefined solution for the cases based upon the keyword and search term. You can search the solution and you can send to the customers. And if you want to wait for some more processes, and we can define our own process easily. If you want to differentiate your cases by differentiating the product or by differentiating some other aspects, we can differentiate by using the support process.
What was it? Can you please repeat that? What is the support project?
Support process, not support project. Support process is like that. Whenever you want to define different kinds of cases occurring into the system. For example, I have an normal. For example, if you have three kinds of products, product A, product B, product C, and you can create a three record type. On top for the three record types, you can access different kinds of process. For example, product A is just a normal product. You just want the case is created when its status should be new, and it should be goes to the work in progress, and it should be closed. That is the process which is different for the product A. For the product B, but it is a complex issue, complex environment. In the status field, we can go up to the new, in progress, and waiting for approval, waiting for the customer approval, or waiting for the manager or
so it is basically creating three record type IDs for three different products, and that is the kind of support process?
Yes. Based upon the record types only, we will define the support process. For each record type, we will assign a different support process. It is possible in the service cloud. That's what I'm telling.
Okay. So how do we differentiate between the Sales Cloud and Service Cloud?
The Sales Cloud and Service Cloud, yeah, there are so many differences. right from the object level itself, there are so many differences. For example, we say told for the Service Cloud, it is a purely support process. But in the Sales Cloud, it is a sales process. Sales process is defined. For example, in the opportunity, there is a stage management system. One is in stage for the idea collection phase, second one is a qualify phase, third one is a building answer, fourth one is a confirm phase, and fifth one is an opportunity one of these things. So whatever the stages you want to occur and what are the fields to be defined for each stage, we can define in the sales process. And the object management itself, it differs. Like for the sales cloud, accounts, contacts, opportunities, and the port management systems, campaigns, leads, and these are the supported objects. But in the cases,
For
it is
example,
not.
sorry to interrupt. Like for example, we are using like accounts, contacts, and policies and whatnot, like uh, party relationships. So these kind of objects we are I'm loading into Salesforce. But how do I define whether I'm doing a sales cloud or a service cloud? Because I'm doing like both for accounts. So once it is going to live, the agents are going to use it. But in case of any production support, we will be doing the support for any kind of problems, like login problems or anything. So how do I differentiate whether I'm doing a sales cloud or a service cloud process?
Yeah, that's right. If you want to identify and differentiate, first identify what is the app you are working on. For example, the app which you are going to select, and in the app, you go to the objects. And what is the object? What are the different kinds of objects you are supporting? Like which I told, like in the campaign leads, accounts, contact opportunities, ports, and these are all comes under only the sales cloud, and these won't come under the service cloud operation. And if you go for a service cloud operation, accounts, contacts will be the same, and the products will be the same. And on top of it, the main feature is the cases and the solutions. If something any object created based upon the cases and solutions, and this is a basic identification you can do. So check the application on which you are working and identify the objects, what it is having. Based upon that, you will get to know whether it is a sales cloud or a service cloud. And moreover, the features like most of the sales process, it won't be. In the service process, there is a service cloud console feature will be there, which we can overview the whatever all the features open in the main tab, open in the sub tab, and these are the features will be enabled for the service cloud. And the live agent feature is one of the features which is enabled for the service cloud. And the email to case and the assignment rules, escalation rules. If something is having assignment rules and escalation rules, only two objects support. Either leads or the cases which support the assignment rules and escalation rules. And if you identify on the application it is having only the cases having the assignment rules, so it is definitely is a part of the service cloud.
Oh, okay.
And if you go to the here collaborate, chatter and the communities for employees, for customers and the partners. The chatter is a feature which is defined in the service in the Salesforce. Like you can post your thoughts, you can post your
I have used it, but
and this is the market to your audience. It is in like exact target marketing cloud to manage your customer's journey. It is based upon the marketing cloud.
okay.
And in Salesforce, the technology, like we say, like what we mean is record. Record is nothing but an item we are tracking in a database. If a data is like a spreadsheet, then the record is a row on the spreadsheet. And the field is like what are the value you want to store, like a place where you store a value, like a name or address or a data type or a checklist value or a date time values or a formula value. Everything is defined as the fields. Objects are nothing but a table in the database. In the spreadsheet example, an object in the tab on the spreadsheet. For example, here the objects are like in the applications, whatever the objects we are creating, we are assigning a tabs for those objects. So we are accessing the tabs and we are creating our new records and we are creating our business process by accessing the tabs on. Org is short form of organization, the place where all your data configuration and the customization lives. You and your users log in to access it. You might also hear this is called your instance of Salesforce, like the organization, developer organization, or the UAT organization, or QA. It is nothing but the overall what are all the features has been given by you on based upon the licensing, and it is called as an organization.
Is
Force.com
it
is
kind
like
of a sandbox or dev prod
yes,
or
yes,
okay?
yeah. These are all the organizations. Sandbox, dev. Force.com is nothing but if you want to go to customization, if you want to develop any Apex code, if you want to write any trigger, if you want to customize any visual force pages, and these are the APIs which is supporting the. There are several APIs. Currently, the API version is 37, which is supporting for the Force.com platform, and you can develop the things whatever you need. And finally, the coming to the application. Application is like a set of fields and objects, permissions, and the functionality to support a business process. And this is how the application is defined. And this is how the sample view of the MVC architecture. And the view is like the graphical interface, what we are seeing on the on the monitor. And whenever this is the account name. Whenever something account name is you want to get edited, it goes to the controller and it goes to the model. From the model, it will get the DML operations. It will get the data to the controller via the DML operations, and through the controller, it will give to the view, which is having in data set of methods like you have a get operation, which is easy to get the operation, which is easy to get the data from the models, and we have a set operations which is set from the controller to the view. That is how in the next diagram it will be somewhat clear, and not exactly this one. And this is the basic diagram, and this is the view VF page. Whenever it is loaded or refreshed, it is having a controllers. Controllers are nothing but the Apex classes. Apex classes consist of constructors, data members, get values, set values, and the link actions, objects, collections, and the data members are like keys. And the Apex classes will access to the S objects, and the actions are like functionality, and the software and source. Objects and collections perform the DML operations on the records. It will fetch all the records from this view to this one, and from the controller to it passes to the view. And beyond this one, there are donor limits, batch effects, schedule effects, security validations, workflow rules, approval process. Everything is managed under the controller part.
Okay.
Yeah, these are the different kinds of products which Salesforce supports, like Sales Cloud, manage the sales process end-to-end by using the account, contact, lead, campaign, opportunity, support, order. By using these management systems, you can support your sales cloud. And the data.com is the get right data at the right moment, because Salesforce is having other feature like data.com, which is used for the analytics purpose. And for us, we don't have the access for the data.com. We need to ask for the Salesforce support center for a separate access for the people to access to the data.com. Service Cloud is like which I told clearly is the case management system. From the where the case journey started and how it ends, you can define the whole process in the Service Cloud. And the Marketing Cloud, Product Cloud, Community Cloud, Chat, Analytics Cloud, Platform Products. These are all the different kinds of products. But in the market, there are mainly three clouds which are performing the business, like Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, and the Marketing Cloud. In the communities, anyway, if the customer wants the communities, we have to enable those features, and we can develop those communities also. The Analytics Cloud is this is one of the new applications which is given by the Salesforce, like Wave Analytics app. It is in purely license-based, and extra cost we need to pay if you want to purchase those licenses. And features you can see there is a lot of different features. What are the kinds of reports and the dashboards we are currently now building in the Salesforce. It is purely different from the Devantic. It is whatever the data we want to drill down, we can drill down to the least level. We can go and we can fetch your data on the UI itself. And these are basic objects, or I can say basic tabs which are given for the different kinds of applications. For the community cloud, what are the different kinds of applications? Marketing cloud and the service cloud, files, contacts, cases, solutions for the sales cloud, accounts, contacts, opportunities, contracts, everything will be there. And coming to this one, these are the different kinds of editions, like group edition, professional edition, enterprise edition, unlimited edition, and the performance edition. Most of the companies use the enterprise and the unlimited edition because it supports all of the features which Salesforce gives. And if you don't want to, if you are having any limitation of the object, if you don't want any workflow rules, or if you don't want any other features, we just go for an performance edition or group edition. And these are the minor editions like group and professional and the performance edition. Like it supports the minimum features which the Salesforce provides. If you want more information, you can check in this URL salesforce.com and CRM editions pricing.usp. And if you want to sign up for the Salesforce, you just log in into the developer.salesforce.com/sign up, and you can just create your credentials, and you can just see your interface and you can start working on the Salesforce. And the Trailhead is one of the modules which is introduced by the Salesforce for the practicing for introducing and practicing what are the different kinds of applications it is having, what are the different kinds of features Salesforce is having, how to start with those features, and everything, those modules we can find it out on the Trailhead. There are around some 115 modules. Out of those, 80 modules are there, which are very helpful for this learning the admin, learning the basic development and everything. And one more thing is like there are different kinds of sandboxes like developer sandbox, developer pro sandbox, partial copy sandbox, full copy sandbox, and these sandboxes will be we will get based upon the edition what we are purchasing. For example, if it is an enterprise and unlimited edition, we can have for enterprise edition we are having only one partial copy sandbox, one full copy sandbox. But whereas in unlimited editions we can get we can get more than 2 full copy sandbox, and the developer sandboxes are we can get in the enterprise edition like 40 plus developer sandboxes we can get, but in the unlimited edition we can get more than the 40 plus more than the 40 plus. So this is how the features will be defined and based upon editions what we are purchasing, and the features will be different. That's how we can define our sandboxes.
Okay. So developer sandbox is just kind of trial and error method for what we will be using. How do we deploy? Oh, what about the deployment tools you will be covering in these modules?
Yeah, deployment tools. I can't show the real-time deployment, but I can give you the screenshot and how the deployment process. One deployment using the change text, which is the Salesforce features supported for deploying, and another deployment is using the AND tool migration, and the third deployment tool is using the Force.com IDE Eclipse. Through Force.com IDE Eclipse, we can show like how to extract the data and metadata and all these things, and how we can deploy. But through change text and INT migration tool, we have to.
So if we are deploying through Jenkins and AND, don't we need a Git repository and all those things set up for it? So you'll show a real-time deployment?
No, that's what I'm telling you. For this ANT and change text, we can't do that one. For the Eclipse only, we can do that one.
So for Eclipse, you will cover Eclipse and chain sets for in this module, in this curriculum.
Yes, I will cover it.
Would you be able to cover Flossom as well? Because my company is planning to install Flossom for a as a deployment tool. So I would like to have an idea about how it is doing.
Okay. Can you send me that URL so that I can just find out the product and I'll review on this one?
It's Flossom. I have sent the name in the chat window.
Yeah. So I'll look into this one and I'll just.
Okay.
Might be there won't be much differences because whatever creating the data and the metadata packages and the UI might be differentiated, but we'll listen to this one, how it differentiates with other tools and how it is helpful for the deployment.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, the more important things for me is like getting to know about how to query Sockwell using Sockwell. I need to use developer console and query data using that, because I basically deal with data more than creating the objects and everything. So my concern would be like workflow rules and validations and understanding the triggers and process builders, and those are the main criteria which I am looking for.
Okay, I understand.
And yeah.
One more thing, like, will you see this one, the course content which you have to create. In the configuration part, you will get to know. You are seeing my screen, right?
I'm sorry?
You are seeing my screen?
Yeah, I'm able to see your screen.
Yeah, it is the basic from the starting. I'll deal with the production in the sandbox environment and how to create an application, creating an output tab and the custom field rules. And from this one, I can go for the validation rules. And next, I'll go with this relationships and the page layout, record types, field history, security, and Salesforce, and the data loader kind of things. What are the data loaders and the workflow rules?
Okay, yeah. One question on data loaders, like, can you please go back to the data loaders?
Yes.
Okay. So you will be showing data loaders, and does it have workbench in this?
Workbench anyway, we'll show the what are the software queries and what are the data basic sample loads and all these things we'll do through the workbench.
Okay. So do you cover demand tools as well?
Demand tools like Apex data loader I'll cover. And,
It's a kind of a data loader, but it is a different one used to import data to Salesforce.
which one? Demand tools.
Demand tools.
And I think
I use
as of now,
Informatica Cloud.
okay. Actually, as of now, we have used these kind of things, Apex data loader and the data loader data IO and the import requires and everything. And if you want any other tools, just let me know. I'll look into those tools and I'll get to know how to operate with the tool.
I mostly use Informatica Cloud, but I would like to get knowledge in data loaders and workbench and demand tools as well, because those are the products.
The software query itself for executing and all these things will introduce the working. I haven't mentioned the names, like what are the tools to be used, but
okay.
Yeah. Any other. So your main concern is like you want to understand the software query, how to write the software query, like the parent and child relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, if we could start from there.
Okay.
Sorry?
And if you want to know how to write the tickets, or you just want to know how understanding the ticket itself?
It would be good. I don't have a Java background, so I'm not sure how the triggers, writing the triggers would affect me. So, but I would like to get a knowledge because I don't want to depend on each and every time. Currently, I'm each and every time I need to depend on a Salesforce developer to know what the code is doing and everything. So I would like to know by myself what, at least to understand the triggers, what work it is doing then.
Okay, we will cover those features.
So do you cover triggers as well in this?
Yeah, this is the part of the customization. Configuration only I have done, and if you want the customization, I'll show you the source content. Yeah, this is the software and process queries, which is able to cover order by group by functions, differentiation limits, and objects, fetching parent object and sale information, sale reports from the parent object, writing software queries, social queries, zonal limits, and apex trigger, like what is why we go for the trigger, and we without doing the workflows, and trigger events, context variables, collections, and availability for the different events, best practices, developing the trigger by taking different scenarios, avoiding recursive features, HTML operations errors, purpose of feature measures, and order of execution. And these are the topics I am going to cover in the future.
Perfect. So I'm also looking for certification. Also, I'm planning to take a certification, admin certification in Salesforce. So, would you give any assistance for that too?
Admin certification, I'll provide the whatever the data on the previous examination done. If you want, I can provide those. And the house duplicate, I can provide the data.
So, will this course will be helpful for taking the certification, or it is?
Sorry.
I mean, will this course will be sufficient to take an admin certification? Will it cover all the parts of certification then?
Yes, it will cover. And mainly the certification part, it consists of mainly about the workflow rules and the objects and the relationships, and moreover the security features. And these are the mainly the topics concerning the certification. If you go for the ADM curriculum also, you can see the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the questions I have. So, yeah, we are pretty much done with that.
No. And if you want to know any of the specific topics, just prepare a document for those topics and just send to them, and anyway they will forward to me. We will start on those topics and take more on those topics rather than I can say.
Okay. So, is it okay? Can you give some introduction about yourself? So, I haven't, sorry, I missed the class so previously.
No, this is the first class only I am taking. And myself, Krishna, actually. And I'm working as a Salesforce developer and administrator, I can say, both the roles I'm handling. I'm having 5 years of experience, and out of those, the 4 years which I'm working for the Salesforce in the different kinds of clouds. Initially, I worked in the sales cloud, then I shifted again to the service cloud, then again, now I'm working again to the sales cloud. And that's why I'm more concentrating on these features like sales cloud and service cloud. And the marketing cloud also is very good to learn, but still currently I don't have any knowledge on the marketing cloud. So, thank you also.
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you. Okay, Krishna, sounds good. And when are you planning to start the class? And
Yeah, when you people will be available. Like actually today he told me that two people will join, and today he joined, and one more person was missed. Might be tomorrow if he joins, and again I'll give you some brief introduction and this kind of a little bit this part of demo, and I'll just introduce the art and how to navigate in the art and all these things, and then after we'll start the based upon his experience and what are the his course contents, like what he is willing to learn. We'll segregate those topics and on the basis of the priority, we'll start the course. Might
okay,
be
sounds
tomorrow
good.
after discussing with him, we'll get to know and what he is trying to learn. Because you are
Okay.
having some of
Let me
the
know if
main.
you're having a class tomorrow, but if you're going to cover the same topics, so then I won't be able to join. If you're having, then I can join from the next class.
Yeah. Because if you join also, I'll just introduce to the this one organization and how the developer console and how the navigations in the Salesforce. You know about the navigations, like how to go and how to take.
Yeah,
And
I know.
okay, then I think it's not needed. I think so. And
Okay.
I think
Let me
like
know
that.
then when you're planning.
Yes. Yeah. I'll discuss
I
it.
do have a developer sandbox signed up, but I haven't used it much. But I will reset my password and you start using it.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Yeah. You just prepare a document like what are the contents you need. I'll just go through the documents. If something it is out of my scope, I can't help. Max, I'll try 90% to do my best on the topic, because for some of the softwares and all this we need to buy a licenses and we need to test those software. That's how it is considered. Other than if it is a
Yeah,
freeware, I
yeah.
can download, I can work around it, and I will give the information how to proceed with it.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Krishna. Have a nice day.
Yeah. Thank you.